I've been wanting to talk about brand Twitter in some capacity for a while now, and I finally found something that fills me with so much existential dread that I just want to turn into a frog for like a week. I don't know, it hurts my head. Here are 5 of the funniest brand accounts on Twitter. This article is sadly the first thing that comes up when you search brand Twitter on Google. Of the 175 million results Google found in a whopping 0.65 seconds, this is what they decided to show me. At first, this was pretty much what I expected to find when I searched brand Twitter, an article oozing with corporate goodness from a site that's your self-described go-to for digital marketing tips and strategies to help you learn, grow, and succeed. There is no better source for learning about brand Twitter than from a website that has over 200,000 followers but gets less likes than me. At Jammer, by the way. But even still, I wasn't mind broke like I am right now. That happened when I opened the link and read the title. 5 of the funniest millennial approved brand accounts on Twitter. I think this is the worst header I've read in 2021, which isn't saying much because I can't read, but still, it makes me want to scream. I can't actually scream because it's like 3 a.m. and my parents already questioned my mental health enough, so let's just start reading it, shall we? Last August, the Washington Post ran an article with one of my favorite headlines ever. Why is millennial humor so weird? The subtitle describes this meme-based style of humor as dark, surreal, and completely meaningless. Yeah, pretty much. For brands, this is probably a little worrisome. It's no secret that humor is a stellar way to connect with consumers, and this is especially important for the youngins. Millennials want personalized, meaningful experiences. A couple things, I wanted to see what the article that was linked was about, but apparently I have ad block on, so I can't view it, but I actually have that off, I think. Again, I'm not the best at reading, but I think this says disabled, which means no Washington Post for you. I'm sorry, I don't make up the rules. Also, their example for dark, surreal, and completely meaningless humor is this meme, which is pretty fitting, but calling millennial humor is a little bit of a stretch. But when you remember that anybody who's been called a youngin is a millennial, it makes a bit more sense. Meme marketing, using viral humor to expand your brand visibility across social media, is a game of high risk and high reward. The risk falling flat on your face in a cringeworthy fashion. I hate this. I hate this. But I'm not gonna harp on it too much because obviously this article wasn't written for me, nor probably you. With that said, I'm still gonna make fun of it because I can and I wanna. Let's take a look at some hilarious tweets from 5 of the funniest Twitter accounts out there. All millennial approved companies that brilliantly use Twitter to build their brands and reach their audience. Well, these Twitter accounts have officially become millennial approved, so they better be good or else I will be very disappointed. Number 1, Denny's. You know, before I go any further than this, I have to say this guy's 100% being paid off by Denny's. There's no way a real person would ever put Denny's on top of any list, regardless of the subject, without financial incentive. Also, they link all of the Twitter accounts on this list, and Denny's has lost 40,000 followers since this article was written in March 2020. That's embarrassing. Not as embarrassing as the fact that the person who wrote this article, Connor Bond, sick ass name first of all, is a self-identified millennial who calls other millennials youngins and everything millennial humor. Yikes. They also work at Crayon, which disappointingly has nothing to do with actual crayons, so. Anyways, let's look at some Denny's tweets. While it's trendy to implement new 420 menus, Denny's has always stayed ahead of the game by simply having our menu. See, this one right here is funny because 420 and weed. And then bro goes on to just explain that. A common theme throughout the tweets featured in this blog post is brand self-awareness. Denny's knows that they appeal to stoners and they embrace it. If you close your eyes while holding a warm pancake, it's almost like holding hands with a real human. This is what Denny's does best on Twitter. They find ways to incorporate their core products, namely pancakes, into weird and hilarious contexts. Blending something as innocent as a pancake into a joke about loneliness is a guaranteed winner. Unlike me and my pancakes. Next, they tell you how to copy Denny's and their clearly very good marketing strategy that's netted them a whopping negative 40,000 followers in the last 18 months. But jokes aside, the idea they deducted from Denny's was pick a core product or service of yours and figure out how to make it funny. I have no idea how they came up with that one. Thanks, Denny's, for the great advice. They give the example of an office chair and make it funny by making a joke about the existential dread that is climate change. Which, man, just leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, the issue isn't really with the joke itself, because if a person made a meme about climate change ruining their day, I would laugh and like it, but when a hypothetical company acts like a person to make a joke about climate change, I just kind of feel like I'm getting mocked. Especially when you factor in just how much of climate change is caused by companies being greedy and fucking with politics to not lose out on profits. It just makes me want to curl up in a ball. Here's something unrelated to make me feel better. Denny's recently posted this meme for Friday the 13th, and I had to see it, so I'm gonna make myself feel better by making you have to as well. You're welcome. Now, I'll admit, it looks pretty cool, but they should have factored in the fact that it would have made me happier to have never seen this. I don't know why they didn't, honestly. Number 2, Wendy's. The fast food giant has found enormous success with its anti-Arches brand, often lambasting Mickey D's for its use of frozen beef and its infamously dysfunctional ice cream machine. In fact, consumers are so amused by Wendy's aggressive approach to social media marketing that the company has released a 5-track mixtape, We Beefin', in March. See, I was expecting Wendy's to be the number one since they're the OG, the first, the brandiest brand on brand Twitter, and also have like 5 times the following that Denny's does. But Denny's stoner memes are too good, I guess. You have $4 to spend on the perfect lunch, $92 frozen beef got a thaw, $15 ice cream machine broke, $87 won't respond to your mixtape, $90 busy clowning around, $4 4 for $4, $78 more bread than beef to be honest, $500 pretend they're switching to fresh beef, but it's only in a couple burgers. Here, Wendy's perfectly uses a popular joke format to advertise their 4 for 4 deal and make fun of McDonald's in every possible way. It's trendy, funny, and effective. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what meme they're doing their epic Wendy's roast version of. I'm sorry, I don't remember what was trendy and funny in April of 2018. Like, the closest thing I remember were those tweets where it would be like, how much money do you have? I have $303. And it would list a bunch of random things, but the only way to get that combination of money was some like $3, fuck a dead body. And everybody would go, hold up, wait a minute, what was that? But I think they messed up. TFW, yo, beef's still frozen. Big Mac, I don't feel so good. This one is a real topical funny, but I don't really understand what the caption was other than le epic roast. bunny McDonald's bad. Currently, Wendy's has disappointingly grown in following. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it because it isn't important to me, and I refuse to do any more corporate chilling for free. But I went into the replies to see who exactly responds to Wendy's in current year, and I don't know, it kind of just left me feeling empty. Like, it was both exactly what I was expecting, but disappointing at the same time. Croissant or croissant? No matter how you say it, grab one this AM for $1.99. Sun Young, the Young Boy fan, Dragon Ball lover, honest Goku stan, not a troll, block me equals I own you, never taken an L, professional furry, Young Boy / Goku never broke again, responds with not a real sport, Bernie Sanders never broke again, #1 Young Boy fan, never been ratioed, block me equals I own you, not a bait account sadly, honest Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Dar Man and Dax fan, response with make better music, Sun Young comes back with the post real happy images, then my boy Bernie Sanders never broke again responds with not Cringetopia USA. These two accounts have existed for a combined 3 months, and I refuse to believe this isn't just one dude going back and forth on alts to pretend like they have real friends. That was kind of mean, but ratio, funny. Oh my god. I was planning to do more of this, but I just feel exhausted reading this article. I can't. I'm not sorry, but you probably didn't want to watch me read this any longer anyways. If you did, thanks, but go get some help, dude. You probably need it. I want to close this off with a more legitimate thought about brand Twitter as a whole, I guess. If you couldn't already tell, I hate it. I hate everything about it. I wish it would just stop. I wish companies would stop pretending to be real people to advertise to me, but it works because people like it, and I hate that. I'm not alone in this sentiment, and every now and then you'll see people own brands like Nestle online for being bad and against human rights. Fuck Nestle, by the way. There was that whole silence brand arc on Twitter as well. But I'm kind of conflicted about both of those things, because first off, whenever you see a repost of somebody owning a brand like Nestle, you're being advertised to. Their advertisement is working. Like, unless you decide from then on to stop buying Nestle products, unless you stop eating Kit Kats, their advertising is working, because the only thing they want out of advertising when you're as big of a company as Nestle is to just remind you of the fact that they exist. So next time you go to the store, maybe I should get a Kit Kat. I remember Nestle. I like chocolate. And also, harassing brands doesn't really do anything. The only person it affects is the social media manager who has to make it not look like everybody hates them. And they're probably not paid enough to do that. So, don't harass brands. Don't harass anybody, actually. I'm kind of anti-harassment, and you should be too. Yeah. This is a second camera I got. It's not a second camera, it's my laptop camera. It looks like shit. I love it.